Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I shouldn't say welcome back to Deadly Premonition, because when we left off, we were playing the PS3 version of the game, but now we've switched over to the PC version of the game, and ooh, look how smooth it is. Look at the frame rate. Yes, we have frame rate now. So, the reason that I switched to the PC version is because the idea was that I was going to play through the PS3 version to see what the move controls were like. And, they just weren't benefiting anything, I think. It wasn't benefiting me playing it. It wasn't benefiting you watching it. And then he combined that with the very bad frame rate of the PS3 version and the weird stuttering I was getting during cutscenes. I just figured, okay, let's just go over to the PC version, because at least it'll be smooth. If nothing else, it'll be smooth. So, that's what we're doing. But we're not starting over from the beginning, even though we are at the beginning right here. The reason we're at the beginning is because I wanted to talk about the mods we're using. One mod that we're using right now is Sweet FX. I'm using that to adjust the contrast and the saturation of the game, because I don't really like the way the director's cut looks. I don't like how desaturated it is, so I'm using Sweet FX to try to make things a bit more colorful. I found some presets for this game that seem to work pretty well, so makes it look a little bit nicer anyway. I tried using DP Fix, which is the mod that lets you run the game at higher resolutions in 720p. That runs by itself, but I tried combining it with Sweet FX, and then the game wouldn't start. Now, I think that's just an issue with my PC. I believe you are supposed to be able to use both DP Fix and Sweet FX at the same time, but it's just not working on my PC. I tried using DP Fix on its own. It worked, but the game was real ugly. It's a pretty nasty looking game. So, I think that, if I have to use one or the other, I'm going to go with Sweet FX to make the game look a little bit better instead of going with the higher resolution, but the default color and brightness contrast settings. So, Sweet FX it is, unless I can figure out how to combine the two without the game crashing. Okay. Another mod we're using... Oh, actually, hold on, before we talk about that. Let me just summon a car. Because as it turns out, since we do have our DLC cars, we can summon them right here at the beginning of the game. Obviously, you're not supposed to be able to drive a car at this point. But we can summon one. This car is... Yeah, this is the green car we were using. I don't know if we're going to be using the cars too much, because they all have They all have the shadow music, the mysterious shadow music, and that's not fun to drive around to. We want some tunes like the FBI theme music, We don't want this. We could, try to drive out of town. Oh, by the way, with the mouse controls, I can move my head. So, head moving, back in effect. Yeah, we did. Okay, we can't just leave. Oh, and also, the mouse controls, turns out, works a lot better for aiming than the move. Or the controller, for that matter. The mouse aiming works very well in this game. So, it turns out that just using the mouse and keyboard is probably for the best anyway. Now, one other mod that I want to talk about, but before we actually get to Emily, I just want to see if I can... Just need to... Hold on, we can fix this. Talk. Can we talk? Okay, no. I wanted to see if York would say anything. But no, we had the option to talk. I pressed the button. Nothing was said. This is Chapter 0. He doesn't have any lines because we're not supposed to be driving. Okay. I just wanted to check that. I just wanted to see if he might have a bonus hidden line he might say during Chapter 0. Okay, his jacket was a little bit ruffled there, but it's okay. Okay, another mod we're using is a mod that lets us switch Emily's default costume with any model she uses throughout the game. So that kind of makes up for her lack of DLC, because she doesn't have many DLC costumes, but now with this mod we can change her default costume with any other model that is used for Emily throughout the game. However, when I say any, I really do mean any. So brace yourself.
Now you were very late.
Oh, boy.
I didn't think you'd keep me waiting in the rain for so long.
FBI Special Agent, Francis York Morgan. Please, just call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Agent York?
Good.
Oh, the mouth animates and everything.
Are you the sheriff?
No, I'm Deputy Sheriff Emily Wyatt.
Oh, and the eyes blink. Even though there are no eyes, there's something blinking in those sockets.
I see.
If you don't mind me asking, did you walk all the way here?
This is terrible. This is the worst thing. You could play the whole game with her like that.
She's easy on the eyes. Definitely worth a trip to the primitive world.
By the way, don't mention anything about what happened back there. She'll think you're a psycho. Don't want that, do we, Zach?
Well,
Zach, don't mention to the deputy that we see her as a desiccated corpse, even though she's clearly a living person just standing there. She'd think that there might be something wrong with us. All right, we can't replace George with anyone else. We can't replace his costume, unfortunately, so that's enough of that. Ooh, look how smooth it is. Unfortunately, we can't replace Emily's model with other characters' models altogether. Like, we can't replace Emily's model with, like, Kaysen's, which I would really like to do. But we cannot. Alright, we're gonna... I played up to where we left off after completing the hospital, so we're gonna go back to that. I just wanted to take a look at that, and now we've seen it, and now we can continue.
Previously during the investigation.
These puppies are making me go to another town.
That's right, the puppies going to the Boondocks. We know all about that. Know all about those puppies, and the Boondocks as well. We've been here before, eating that country ham.
the body was found in the Greenvale Forest Park. That's west from here, and too far to walk.
A forest park?
It's the pride of the town. It has a beautiful trail leading to a viewing site over Velvet Falls.
That does sound fantastic. Show me the sights.
That may have to wait. We promised to be there by 1800 to interview the first witnesses to the crime scene.
That's right. We gotta go interview them. How you feeling, Emily? She is quite pretty. If only she was wearing something a bit more fashionable than that uniform. What does George think about it? Right, so that's what we would be doing. Or we could, redo the hospital combat area over there if we wanted, more, more money, more agent honor, and such. Let me check the map, because that's going to affect what we do right now. I've been doing the story-critical things, right? So we don't always have to do that. Trading card right there. Place you can sleep on a farm. No reason. Let's see. Thomas, he's offering lunch. Over here. Angie Diner. We don't really care about that. Nothing to do there. Nick's house. Anna's house. Sally still isn't there. If we go down here... Nope, that's not the direction we want. It's weird that in the director's cut, one thing they didn't do is let you zoom out more. This is still as far as you can zoom out, which is strange because that seemed to be one of the bigger complaints about the game, is how little of the map you could see at any one time. Well, Lily has a side quest available. Okay, Sally's still over there. We could do Lily, her side quest, please. We could do that. We could have lunch. We could go get bones. Actually, I guess if Sally is not available, like if she was, then I would head over there because that would activate a string of side quests. But if she's not, maybe we are just going to go back to the story path and go to the forest park. Which is much different from how I did the game originally, which was just wasting as much time as possible.
Agent Morgan, if I could just give you a friendly warning.
Are you really upset about me taking over the case? I have the authority approved by the FBI to assume command. I understand you don't like it, but you will follow my orders.
I'm not disputing FBI authority, but this is our town. You won't get far alone, and you gain nothing by antagonizing me.
It's part of my personality. I just do things my way. I can take you off the case if you wish.
Stop it, you two. We need to solve this case, not bicker among ourselves.
That smile. See, we got some music going on. We got some good FBI music. Oh, actually, what are the controls here? How do I... Okay, there are the lights. I gotta figure... There we go. Wipers. How do we turn the... There, blinkers. Okay, okay. Did I turn the lights off, though? I might have turned the light... There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we're following proper FBI regulations.
Anna's body was discovered by the woodsman Jim Green, along with his 2 grandchildren, Isaac and Isaiah.
What were they doing in the forest?
Just their daily routine. They found Anna's body during a morning walk.
So you've talked to them already?
Not officially. Not yet.
Not yet? Are you out of your mind? You haven't interviewed them yet?
Agent York, that tone is hardly appropriate. We were given orders to wait for you to arrive.
Orders by who?
A man called Abrams from the FBI.
Robert, is it? Good old Bob Abrams. I did tell him to stay out of it. It's always tough to have a meddling boss, huh, Zach?
I thought you knew, Agent Morgan. Don't worry about it. We may not have taken official statements, but we got all the information we need. I can fill you in right now if you'd like.
Thanks, George, but that won't be necessary. I want to hear the details from the witnesses themselves, firsthand.
I just can't believe that the children had to witness the crime scene. They may be traumatized. You'd better do this carefully.
Don't tell me you get nervous talking to children, Emily.
Not at all. That's not what I meant.
Then what did you mean?
Just forget it.
Maybe, children get nervous around Emily for some reason. Don't know why. Oh, too far. So you can hit a brake to turn, like to do a really sharp turn, like, hold on, like that 180 turn right there. Or you can, like, maybe turn even further than 180. But it takes a lot of practice to actually use it, because you have to have a very light touch when doing that. But that's, like, actually how you drive around real fast in Deadly Premonition, is that you need to get used to the idea of, like, hey, here comes a turn to the right. See, that's just way too far. I did a 270-degree turn right there. I only tapped the space bar. Just way too much. You have to master that brake turn in order to actually be able to take these turns at any kind of speed. Oh, right. That's a dead end, isn't it?
Agent Morgan, how much longer do you want to keep talking? Maybe we should cut the chit-chat and go get our official statements.
George is right. Let's head over to the forest park.
Trying. It's like an invisible wall right here. I can't seem to drive through it. Okay, got through it. Nope. Okay. Maybe I just need to get out of this field right here. Maybe that would be for the best. driving into this field was a bad idea. I like how the road just ends. Alright, back we go. So, trying to follow the objective arrows all the time doesn't necessarily work. Because maybe you're just gonna run into a dead end, and I mean, the arrow is pointing in that direction, and that direction is really far away. It's just that who knows which road we need to take to actually get there. Alright, this should... Again, that's way too much! Way too much! I used to be much better at that. At getting the right kind of tap needed in order to make the minimal amount of turn you need. So like a 90-degree turn to the left or right is usually what you're looking for.
Agent Morgan, how much longer do you want to keep talking?
We haven't been talking, George.
Cut the chit-chat and go get our official statements.
Look, the FBI's paying me more to go long distance. They say, good job, Agent York. You've been driving a lot of miles for some reason. I don't know why. Here's money. Might as well head here, since we're passing by. And I am low on gas and stamina. Both things. Because I'm good at my job. Also, this is like a side quest we can actually do without George and Emily leaving us.
I've never seen you here before. You in town to see some sights?
What's your name?
I'm Gina. Folks call me the Rose.
I'm Francis York Morgan, FBI Special Agent. I'm investigating the death of Anna Graham.
FBI?
Just sitting back there.
Wow, how cool. And, ooh, I like that scar.
Do you have any info on Anna or any suspicious individuals?
I hate that complex stuff.
Yep, Gina never has any information on anyone.
Simple.
Yeah.
Like, even her side quest
Do you want
really
gas?
doesn't have anything to do with anything. The ultimate reward for her side quest is for her to like, dance around your car as she washes it. Like, put it... Yeah, get it? You see the innuendo right here? Innuendo happening on the screen right now. Can you detect it? It's subtle. Let's see. Yep, there you go. I do need both fuel and my car to be washed. Well, at least she doesn't spit on it like Jack does. All right. We are repaired. No, we don't need another one. So with Jack, we actually have to talk with him in order to advance his side quest. With Gina, I believe it was just that you have to have her wash your car a bunch of times to eventually get her full service. And that's the end of her side quest. I think that's all there was. I don't think there was anything else. You know, I'm right by the milk barn right now. Let me just see if Lily's still there. Since I'm here, I might as well just do this. Yeah, she's there. Right, that's what we need to do, but since we're driving by the milk barn, Lily's got a side quest available, and I do want to get Grekhoch as soon as we can. Might as well just do this now. I don't think I ever noticed that the milk barn sign rotated like that. It's fancy. Didn't realize they were so fancy here.
If you're wandering off, then we'll go on ahead. We don't have time to mess around.
Okay, I'll meet up with you later.
Agent York, We only have until 1800 to talk with the witnesses to the crime scene, okay?
I'm not messing around. I have important business here. I have to push some boxes, 'cause apparently it's something that only I can do.
Hi there.
Let's talk.
Hi, Agent York. Do you have a moment or two?
I've
Maybe just
many
one if you
moments.
need something. What's up?
Actually, I've got another favor to ask you.
What kind of favor?
We don't have room in our storage for the new shipments that came in today. I know you just tidied it up, but I was wondering if you could help again. Of course, I'll reward you again. This time with our silver card.
How is this different from the last one?
You get a bigger discount than the bronze card. That means even more savings.
I see. That sounds like a fair deal. What do you think, Zach?
How can we say no?
Thank you, hun. The storage room is this way.
It would be silly to turn this down. It would be like burning money. We might as well take our wallet out and just set it on fire if we didn't do this right now. What are they doing in there? I mean, this is the same day that we did the first time. A day has not passed yet. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, we can see that a box is on one of them already. There's also a square over there. And a square, like, what was it? Oh, I think it was over there? Was it? It's gotta be, right? Get around here. Alright. In the original version, could you see this from the top down all the time? I feel like you could. And then maybe they, like, changed the camera angle to make this a bit more difficult. Okay, no, it's on one right... Okay, no, there's a square right there. And then another one right there. Okay. So those where the squares are. So I'm going to have to... Let's see. I would probably want to push this one down. Right? So I'd be able to walk around to the back and approach that from behind. And if I was going to do that... Well, let's do this first. I can still now push this one from either side, but now I can access the back here. Okay, so where do we want to push things? What would be the first square that we want to get rid of? I'm just thinking before I push anything. Well, I already pushed one thing. I'm thinking before I push something again is what I'm thinking about. Okay, so I could push this one from the other side and it would come here. From there, I could easily push this one to the square that one is already on. But what about this one? Well, this is the only one that's remaining. So... let's see. Instead, what if I... Let's see. If I went back here and pushed this one up, but then let's see, would I be able... This would be a lot easier if you could see it from the top. Okay, that has to be it, right? So that one's there now. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so then I can push this one more, and then push it up into the square that's here. But before I do that, would I want to push this one down? Probably. Thrilling box pushing action. You paid for the whole box, but you will only need the edge. This organization doesn't really make sense. Why would you want the boxes to be in these particular positions? They're not even close to the wall or anything. I question their choices of where these boxes need to go. Is that on that square? Okay, it needs to go one more. It's hard to see. Alright, it's on a square now. So I could push... Let's see, which one do I want to push where? I could push this one down and then up. And so I want to push that one first. Run around. This one, 2 squares. It's a good thing we're an FBI agent, who is used to solving mysteries. Only we are qualified to organize the storeroom in the way it needs to be. See, why is this considered organized? This isn't organized. You can't even get around.
Good work, Agent York. I knew I could count on you.
Oh, it wasn't that difficult.
We were taught in school that the police are there to help the people. It turns out they were right. Here's your reward, then. I'll exchange your bronze card for a silver card.
Well, I mean, the FBI isn't the police.
There aren't that many people in this town that have one of those. It's a pretty rare item to have.
So it's a real treasure. I'll be sure to keep it safe then.
You should use it to buy a gift for that special someone. We'll give you a big discount.
Unfortunately, I don't have anyone to give such a gift to.
Really? Come on. Well, anyway, be sure to come by again.
Well, got an achievement. So in the director's cut, each side quest has its own achievement. So there are a bunch of achievements. I guess that if we were going to do the side quest for Emily, it would end up being the case that we would buy the ingredients that we need from here and get the discount using the card to buy things for Emily. I know. Yeah, I could never get used to it myself. I've always been a night person, no matter how many years I try to be otherwise. Keith will have some side quests, of course, at some point. He gives us some maps and tells us some ghost stories. It doesn't seem like he has them available now, though. We should probably take a look at this map. So, my objective... Oh, actually, who's over here? Okay, both Sally and Richard are still at his house. Just wanted to check. Just wanted to check to see if anyone had left. No one has left yet. I could get a bone while I go down there. Any other bones around? Bone up there. Okay, a couple bones I could get on the way. Might as well, because I am going to have to get... Oh, third bone? I am going to have to get these bones at some point. Okay, so if I'm here... Like if I went down here and went up the train tracks, I could get the bone. Then turn around, go back up here. Go there, get bone, go bone... And then that takes me up there. It's probably what we want to do. Probably what we want to do. Actually, I need to see where those train tracks were. We will pass over the train tracks. Okay. Yeah, that's by the junkyard, isn't it?
Tremors. I think Fred Ward was in it. You say Fred Ward, and I say Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. That one was back in '85, I think.
Did we talk about this one already?
Hamilton. Guess Hamilton was.
I think we did. Yeah, that was probably on the PS3 version, right? Probably on this version, I had not gotten that conversation yet.
Sinanju? The ultimate in martial arts, using no weapons at all. Remo's Master Chun ran across water, remember? And he loved soap operas. Man, that was a good character. He was played by Joel Grey, the best supporting actor in Cabaret. Of course, in Remo, he had so much makeup on you couldn't tell.
What? There's a dog in there with me. There's a dog in there. Look at that. Dog in the car.
Is there something here that you want to check out?
Well, just do as you please. We can head to the forest later.
I like how they have like these little puppies that you see around in the daytime. They're not doing anything. They're just, stray dogs. Then, of course, at night, we see the fully grown ones. I don't know if it's supposed to be the case that they're the same dog.
A human bone? This doesn't look related to the case, but shouldn't I let someone know?
We probably should. You'd think that the police would want to know. They're not interested, though. We won't find anyone who wants to know for some time. Yeah, no one ever actually acknowledges that there are these dogs all over the place in the wilderness. These little puppies. No one ever acknowledges the big dogs either, that we see after midnight. I guess it is true that York did say at the beginning, don't tell Emily about what we've been seeing. She'll think we're a psycho. But you'd think he'd mention it at some point. Ask Emily, George, or Thomas. So, you got, like, big stray dogs here in Greenvale?
Now, Joel Grey's daughter is, of course... That's right, Jennifer Grey. You knew that, right, Zach?
Of course.
Jennifer Grey. She's in one of my most favorite movies. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. 1986, directed by John Hughes. That one was so 80s.
Zach, you're not the most cheerful guy I know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You like those cheerful movies.
We used to love those teenage movies back then, didn't we? Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink, St. Elmo's Fire, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That last one was in 1982, directed by Amy Heckerling. Now that was an impressive film. You've got Sean Penn in the lead, with Jennifer Jason Leigh and Phoebe Cates. Not to mention Nicolas Cage and Forrest Whitaker were in it too. And the original book and the script were written by Cameron Crowe. How could that not be a great film?
Do you remember, Zach?
When that movie ended, the last words, the end, was from an arcade game. That's right, it was from Missile Command. That stuck in my head for a while. The memories. I feel like I have a lot of movies to catch up on. Let's just hope we can get to the end of this case soon. Then maybe we can catch up on a few.
Give some thought about what movie you want to see next, Zach.
I sure will, but I think maybe that this is locked right now. This is the graveyard. I don't think we can get in right now. I might be wrong, but give it a try. Oh no, we can. We can. And the story doesn't make you go here for some time. So I'm actually surprised that we are able to do this. Oh, and there are the red trees. Can we get in there now? Like, we can never open up that door. Can we get through here? Because at some point, of course, the story will require us to come to the graveyard and come to this grove of trees. It's just that that's not going to be for some time. But one of the bones is here. I just don't remember if we can get in. Oh yeah, we can just push this open. Now, of course, there is going to be some a continuity error here. York, of course, is investigating the red seeds. We have now found a grove that is full of red seeds, and indicating the source of the seeds are these red trees. He is not going to notice this. So yes, it is a little bit of a continuity error. I guess that's just a little bit of an Easter egg, since it does let you explore the town and go wherever you want. it is possible for you to stumble across this your first time through the game.
A human bone?
It's a human bone. So, you know, it's not necessarily that... How did I want to finish that sentence? I don't know. I'll start a new sentence. So, the game does let you do your own investigating, let you go to, you know, just wherever you want. So you could, like, find this place, like, at the beginning of the game. Find these red seeds, find the red trees, and realize that, oh, the seeds York's investigating come from these trees. Where else are there red trees? You know? It lets you do that. But, as far as the story goes, the canon story, little bit of a continuity break right here, in that York really should notice that there's a field full of red seeds right there, and he's not noticing that. That's fine. This is Brian's house. Brian is not here right now. He won't. I don't think he appears until we've done the town meeting. Well, I won't look at that quite yet. That grave is ultimately where the bones will go. But as you might remember, there is something important we need to do with those bones before we put them in their final resting place. So we can't let that grave have these bones quite yet. I mentioned before that I do like how this game has a sort of sense of discovery.
Okay, Zach. I've been thinking about what movie I'd like to watch.
Let's discover about York's movies.
Make a decision.
It's always hard to narrow it down just to one movie, but I've put a lot of thought into this, and I'm sure you'll agree with me.
Well, I mean, before I can agree with that...
75. Directed by Steven Spielberg himself.
Ready Player One? No, that was long after
We'll
1985.
finish our chat later. Let's take a walk around here.
Oh, right. This one's in a tree, isn't it? This one's not on the ground, I think. So it's kind of puzzling when you're looking for it and you can't see it. Let me change to the gun. Do I see it around anywhere? Oh, there it is. There it is. It's in that nest. How did a bird get that up there? That's heavy. It's not like you can use that to line the nest. It's a big solid object. A human bone? We should probably let someone know. Eventually. And of course some Agent Honor tucked away. More Agent Honor tucked away. A whole bunch of Agent Honor in this field. I don't know how much of Agent Honor we'll actually use in this playthrough. I don't know how much I'm going to buy. I don't know if these logs are deliberately supposed to look red. Like, were they cutting down red trees? Are they going to make wooden products out of red lumber? I don't know. Not sure if that's deliberate. I guess let's continue on, driving towards our destination. Well, we completed the second side quest at the milk barn. We got 3 of the bones. So we made some progress to a couple of important side quests. And we're heading towards our destination. Get up there. Why am I driving so slowly? Well, I guess we're not on like not on an actual road. We're just driving on dirt.
Zach, picking up from where we left off.
Yeah.
Okay, Zach. I've been thinking about what movie I'd like to watch next. And finally, I've made a decision.
I don't... We're like going at 10 miles an hour. Oh, there we go.
But I've put a lot of thought into this, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. 1975. Directed by Steven Spielberg himself. The grandfather of panic movies. Set in a small town in Massachusetts. That movie made me stay away from the beach for years. I was always afraid that a hand might come floating up. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah? It's Jaws. The underwater camera work accompanied by that John Williams music. I'd never been that scared by a movie before. But the best thing about it is that it isn't just another panic movie.
We'll never find out what it's like. It's not just another panic movie, but who knows what it's actually like.
What are you playing at? You tell us to come here, and you keep us waiting. Is this the way the FBI treats their own people?
Hello, George. I just had some things I had to do.
You really are pushing it, you know that?
I'm sorry if I upset you, but it was important stuff. To me, at least.
That isn't the issue here. We are in the middle of a homicide investigation.
He's not listening, George. I think we both know by now how little he thinks of other people's feelings.
I'll be more careful from now on. I promise.
I also do like how varied those conversations are, depending on whether or not we left them behind.
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. It's what everyone calls me.
And you are Jim Green?
That I am, son. I keep these woods.
Well, you're doing a fine job.
Well, I used to be a tree surgeon.
And these two discovered the body.
Emily, please, you're going to frighten them.
Children, Isaac and Isaiah.
Zach, you see that? Twins. Just like in my dream. We gotta keep an eye on these two.
I'm sorry. Could we talk away from the boys? I want to help your investigation, but I don't want them to hear this.
Very well. Emily, please.
I'll just take them over there then.
Thank you.
Hold on. Don't do anything without asking me. These children were the first to witness the crime scene. I want to talk to them.
Come on, they're just kids. They have no idea what really happened to Anna.
That doesn't matter. You agree with me, right, Zach?
Well, I guess I don't have a choice here.
Do you ever think of other people's feelings, ever?
Emily's right. That's stone cold, even for the sake of investigation.
Children see things in pure, simple terms. They may have seen something we adults would never spot, and they are here at our request as well. We could at least chat with them and see if they want to make a statement.
Are you serious?
I never joke about matters like this.
Oh my God.
Don't worry. They aren't as fragile as you think. Look at them, standing so upright there.
I never understood that. Why would they keep that dialogue in there when they're clearly not standing up?
Isaac, Isaiah, tell me, what did you find here?
Anna, she was so pretty. She had a red dress on. Her hair was shining. Bright gold hair. There were lots of animals around her. Squirrels, weasels, and a snake. A real snake. We didn't know until then. But we know now. Anna was the fairy of the forest. She was a goddess. She smiled when she saw us. She looked so happy.
That's right, Isaac. Isaiah. She was a fairy. A goddess. I'm sure she is playing with those animals even now.
Of course she is. Yeah, of course.
Is there like a piece of her arm sticking out? It's like a bone.
Well, Emily, you can take them now.
Like, it looks like there's a piece of her arm that sticks out when her arms are bent. Like one of her bones is coming out of her arm. I don't know if that's deliberate.
This is where Anna's body was. And that means our unsub, our unknown subject, was here too.
So, what happened here?
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
Well, magic poncho, activate! I was about to say, well, clues is exactly why we've come here, isn't it? I mean, this is the murder site. We're here to find 4 keys, as we can see in the lower left-hand corner. It has started to rain. Our magic poncho covers our Happy Songkran suit. There's a bone over somewhere. Can I get to that bone right now? Seems like I can get to that bone. What do you think about that bone, George? Apparently there's a bone over here. You know, using melee weapons much better with the mouse and keyboard controls than the move. Just press the spacebar and then click the mouse and he does this. You don't have to wiggle anything. Oh, hold on. That bone's over here. Where's that bone? I think the bone is on the other side of this. I don't think I can get at that bone. But I can get at that. Very small detail. Obviously, the police are not going to be able to find something like that. I mean, it takes a trained professional like Agent York to be able to notice a very small rusted chip that's being used in a bird's nest. Something else being used in a bird's nest. Missing piece of a pinheel shoe. These birds use everything for their nests. You know, one thing I like on the subject of York disrespecting George and Emily is you could just go here. You could just, like, sleep for 12 hours while everyone's waiting for you. They can't stop you. You're the FBI. What are they gonna do?
As you requested, we have permission to stay and look around as needed. But what are you planning on doing?
To examine the scene, of course. Basic Crime Investigation 101. We might uncover some further evidence.
My men have covered this already. I seriously doubt that there is anything else to find.
Well, then you and Emily can wait in the car if that's the case. But I'll take my time here.
When you say your men, are you referring to Emily and Thomas? Because I don't know who else is working on this case, George? Like, there's some cops at the station, but they don't seem to be doing anything. Am I wrong about that, George? That's just my observation. And we noticed 2 bent pieces of grass. I don't think that name is correct. We noticed, like, 2 impressions in the grass. Not that there were 2 individually bent pieces of grass. And the photo... This is something that the police should have found. That's very obvious. Come on now, George. What are you doing?
I haven't seen one of these in a long time. It's upside down. I guess this is meant to be an anti-peace sentiment then.
These holes on the ground were made by high stiletto heels all around here. And this depression here, Agent Morgan, I see what happened here. He hung her from the tree and put on her shoes. He was really enjoying it. A sicko. And he knelt down. And disgusting.
George, you certainly have a vivid imagination. An interesting theory. Don't you think, Zach?
What was his name again? That Hollywood producer.
That's right. Joel. We really ought to introduce George to him, Zach.
Profiling is a little different from writing a screenplay, though. An idea being interesting doesn't make it fact. Let me enlighten you, George. The footprints reveal that one of the heels were missing from the shoes. And they're different from Anna's shoes that we saw at the office. Furthermore, there would be even more disgusting evidence if he did kneel and, well, do as you suggested. If you want proof, go ahead and try it for yourself. He knelt here for a reason other than simple perversion.
Zach, what was he doing in front of Anna?
Well, we have all the clues we need to figure it out now.
Now I get it. He was kneeling to pray in front of her. Just like the twins said. She was a goddess. The unsung, our unknown subject, offered prayers to Anna's body, with its bitten-out tongue and massive body wound. Once dead Anna was transformed from an object of despite into one of worship. So who is Miss Stiletto Heels? The steps are close coming up to the body, and then farther apart going away.
There was a reason to hurry away then.
That settles it then, George. Miss Stiletto Heels is a third party here. She's not the murderer. No one runs away from an object of worship. She could be another victim who was with Anna. Or perhaps an accomplice who fled for some reason. She is also one who took whatever it was Anna was holding on to in her hand.
But why? Why did she leave her here?
Only Miss Stiletto Heels knows the reason for that. She might know something about the man with the reversed peace mark, too. How many women wear high stiletto heels in this town, do you think?
Oh, I should think most of them have at least one pair. I do too, before you ask. But nobody would come all the way out here wearing them, except maybe one person.
Don't keep me in the dark, then. Who might this elegant lady be?
Diane, the owner of the art gallery. But she's out of town for a big art auction. I heard she'll be coming back in a couple days.
Then we'll just have to give her a warm welcome home. A more immediate matter, then. Where in town can you find something like this? It should be a building that isn't used anymore, with either a lot of metal or metal machinery or something like that.
The old lumber mill.
Then it's time to really get this show on the road. Could you guide me to this perfect setting for extravagant murder?
That's right. We're heading to the old lumber mill. Get Scoob and the gang in the van. Let's head on over. Alright, so we continued the story. We did a little bit of side questing. We see a picture of York there wearing his basic suit as opposed to the monstrosity that he is indeed wearing. And we'll be back next time for some more Deadly Premonition, as I guess we're just going to head over to that lumber mill. I think that we can't actually do any side quests at this point because it will put us on a critical path to head to the lumber mill to solve the case. Clearly is what we're going to do. Going to find the murderer next time on Deadly Premonition.